This is Pam Electric Ghost, and this is our continuing series of song deconstructions. We've been creating indie electronic music for a long time as Pam Electric Ghost since 2008, and we've been working on our Dark Ghost album. Pam Electric Ghost is my vehicle to do electronic music. I use what is called hardware workflow, where I utilize analog and digital synths to create sonic paintings and soundscapes. It's a little different than traditional electronic dance music in that I try to use singer-songwriter tools to flesh out full lyrics and song ideas and have a lot in common with the old progressive rock bands like Yes and Genesis and Emerson Lake and Palmer, as long as like Bernie Worrell with Funkadelic and Prince. I try to mix multiple genres. I'm inspired by a lot of jazz, including great jazz acts like Sun Ra and Coltrane. I utilize Moogs, Arturia, Rollins, Make Noise, Behringer, a lot of other cool devices. So the song that I'm talking about today is an old song I had put out on one of my albums that I had done as Van Electric Ghost, an album called Synesthesia, Sweet Neo Soul Surrender, which is still available on Amazon.com. I'll put the link on this when I put this out. But what I did is I used the Make Noise Morphogene, which is a Eurorack module that lets you sample. And it's a revelation, and it basically operates like tape looping, something that you would have seen George Martin do with the Beatles back in the 70s when people used to splice tapes as experimental constructs with the recording studio. And so then the mixing console and the tape machines became instruments. And the Make Noise Morphogene allows an artist to sample anything, and I tend to sample some of my original tracks. So I took a song called The Devil Redux, which was originally done on Indigo Menace and then redone on Synesthesia, and now I've redone it again, where I used it as the sound source. You can take up to 3 minutes of a sample with the Morphogene, and you can slow it down, you can morph it, you can fool around with the time shifting on it, a lot of really cool things, and use it as even an oscillator. In combination, I played on my Roland Juno GI some chords using like electric piano kind of guitar-like sound, and then redid a vocal with a VTO3 for my Josephine Electric character. So Josephine Electric is me. I use voicoders to be able to actually do her voice in real time. So I can actually perform her voice, and I've done it in New York, in Boston, using Roland vocoders. Previously, I've used the JDXI native vocoder in a soprano mode, and on the VTO3, I've been using its pitch and format controls to to create her voice. And I found that in the VTO3 I can do even more. And I've been using a Studio Electronics microphone to really define Josephine's voice. So a lot of what I do is to express, you know, concepts through these songs and tell stories. This particular song is about Josephine having a significant other, a male lover that is very violent, and basically when he comes home, he puts his fist through the, through the floor, I mean through the wall, and he puts her on the floor. He makes her so he's being very violent and abusive, and basically Josephine's kind of drawn into this bad cycle where sometimes the victim in that kind of domestic situation can't find a way out, feels like there's nowhere to go, and keeps on getting drawn to the violence and not getting out of it. So, she basically saying she's a tough girl, boy's girl. Um, she's talking like it's somebody else, but it's like typical family that goes, she's really kind of talking about herself. But she kind of separates it, and it seems like she's talking about somebody else. But that's my vision. You may have a different vision, but that's she's trying to be a little create a little separation. But that's basically the story. It actually came from a story that I had in real life when I was you know, working in my day jobs. Back like 20 years ago, I had met a woman who was in an abusive situation, and she just couldn't get out of it. And I was very frustrated trying to help her, but you can't help somebody until they're ready to help themselves sometimes. Um, I even worked in the legal defense fund clinic when I was in college, and we do protection orders, and then the, the people would actually, the victim would basically throw the protection order out and invite the guy back in, and then the whole thing would start all over again. So you can't really control that. I think, a lot of people sometimes are drawn to darkness, and I think part of Dark Ghost is I'm talking about this kind of thing. Um, the song Dark Ghost itself kind of talks about how, sometimes love is a dark, dark ghost. And this is a similar theme. It's like you can get pulled to an individual that is not good for you, but somehow your heart won't let them go, and you get pulled into it, and it's like very bad for you in your actual, you know, life development. They sometimes there's like a psychic vampire, and they pull from you. So this music is very vital to me. I've been working on it for a lot of years. I do a podcast on this platform, and we're going to be talking to the Bad Mary Band um, this Wednesday. We're going to be talking to Kendra Black on the 29th and the Heritage on the 29th. And so we're very excited to use this new platform. We used to be on Spearman, but they've transitioned from doing these type of podcasts. And we're glad that Anchor still allows this type of capability. So in the future, um, we're going to continue to do a lot of this type of work. We're going to try to do some video podcasting once we get some additional tools. But one of the things that's cool about this platform is that you can actually include a full song from Spotify or Apple Music. And so the full song that we were discussing is actually part of this um, podcast. It's actually set up as a segment. So you can listen to that and then think about it. So if you want to provide a comment, hit the applause and you share it with your friends. We're just trying to promote this going forward. And we do talk to people who come to us on this platform when we are available. So keep on paying me, and eventually I might be available. So I'll talk to you next time.